Yesterday we had a really good ride. I was able to walk, trot, lope in every direction, not just on the rail. We were able to go around barrels. I did kind of go around the barrel pattern, but I mostly was just working on some figure eights, getting him to respect my outside rein and just get better control and keeping him between my hands. So we're definitely progressing nicely. Like, I'm really happy with him. I am still gonna lunge him though. I just like to lunge long enough that I feel I have his attention, and I rode him a few times when I didn't have his attention, and the one time resulted in me getting bucked off. So it's okay, I forgive him. It was kind of my mistake. I didn't ride him really consistently, and then the one day I decided to ride him, it was windy out. My mom had a new horse in the arena, so he was just already a little distracted and kind of worked up before I even got on his back, but I didn't really read the signs. So I got on, tried to do a bit of flexing. He was freaked out and he ended up taking off bucking on me. So now I still like to think that we're at the point where I want to lunge him just for a few minutes so that I know he's paying attention. Once I have him paying attention, I'm not going to completely exhaust him with lunging because I still want to get on his back and accomplish a lot on his back, because that's kind of the stage we're at. So I'm just going to lunge real quick. Alright, so right here, even our training session started. If you notice there, I use his hip to kick it out as a way to get him to change direction. And when we're on the ground like that, it is all about kicking their hip to face us or kicking their hip to go the direction we really want to go. So it's one thing to kind of keep in mind when you're asking your horse to move. Think of moving their hip, and the rest will just kind of follow and they'll face the way you want. So I start by lunging by using my hand that the direction we're going, I point it out. Once he starts going, I keep my hand really close to me and I try and be really still with my movements, because every movement is a cue. And when you treat it like that, then you like to stay more calm and more quiet, so the horse knows that every subtle move like that, asking him to change direction, he's being aware of it, because he knows when I make a move or I'm asking for something and change my body position, he responds to it because he's just been instilled that every move means something. So once he gets going, I like to mix up our training and change directions once in a while. Get him trotting. Once I feel he's really focused, I'll switch him, and all I have to do is lean over, cut off the turn like that. And sometimes it takes a while or a few minutes or seconds, but you just kind of cut off the turn and point with your hand the new direction you want to go. So you have to get pretty good with your hands in the lead of swapping your hands, leaning, cutting off the turn, and pointing him the new direction. So with him, he's pretty advanced. I like to do half circles to really make sure I have his attention. It helps with their footwork and just getting them to get a little bit quick, to turn around nicely, and to leave out pretty powerful. So I really enjoy doing this with him, and it's good just because I can get to the point. I don't have to exhaust him with lunging, but I really get him to focus on me. And I am sure after doing that, that he's ready and warmed up to get on him. All right, so I first start my ride on this 3-year-old flexing. As you can see, I'm standing near the back of the saddle. I have my hand kind of on his hip, trying to stay out of his way for his nose to come around. I pull my hand to the horn, and once I feel him give that little bit of release, little bit of tension release in the rein, I instantly release it. And see here with the pointing thing, he knows that when I point over, he's supposed to move over like that, which I absolutely love. And I can now go to the other side and do a couple more flexions, make sure he's nice and balanced both ways. If I need to work on something, this is just a good way to start our ride right and just have him really focused and doing the things that I need him to do for when I'm on his back. So as you can see, I'm waiting for the right answer. He was trying to figure it out, but what I really want is his nose to tuck down and over kind of towards the stirrup. So sometimes they aren't totally sure where to put their heads, but that's where you just kind of hold the pressure until they give you the proper answer, and then you release. And that is how they know what they've done is correct. So now that he's feeling good, this is probably where I'll get on. If you notice, I'm on the wrong side of his back, but that's okay. You want to be really balanced with your horses, and they need to be left and right. So I am really sporadic when I get on and off horses. There's no rhythm or rhyme. It's just kind of the mood I'm feeling, if I want to use my left or right leg, and so on. So I like to get him to flex, and then we stand, and I want him to wait until I ask him to move. So my first step is going to be a circle. I literally will use my hand and my foot at the same time to get him to round and bend while he walks on. I don't want, especially with a younger horse like that, that's under 30 days of training, I don't want him to just walk straight, because that's where people get bucked off. And I've been there, so I like to keep him nice and round, make sure I have his control, have him in between my hands and my feet or my legs, and I just feel a lot more secure that when I ask him to pick up to a trot, that I know he's not going to explode out of it. For the sake of trying to make this video a bit shorter, this is once I started getting him a trot. What I'm doing with him is I go on the rail, since the first step of our training process was just getting him to track on the rail. Being on the rail was his job, so now I'm doing circles while I do the rail. So I'll do a couple of circles till I feel him do it well, and then I'll continue down the rail, get him to just stay between my hands, go nice and straight, and then in every corner pretty much is where I'll ask for the turn. So when I ask for the turn, I shape my body. I use my foot almost first to really keep his mouth still. I don't think I wanted him to lope yet, so I went back to a trot, and I just really want to keep him around. I use my body, like I said, my inside foot. Remember how we're using our hip to kick them out sort of feel? So kind of keep that in mind when you're working these horses. It's a lot of us moving our bodies, so our hands are very light, because they don't understand pulling on the rein just yet. They're kind of getting an idea, but really we want to keep as light as possible with our hands, and that means using our body to shape them, really push them around the turn so we don't have to pull them and fight with them. Once I get a few good turns, I continue on, again, ask them for another circle in the other corner, just keep it really fluid, really light, and I do this until I feel I'm satisfied with it, and then I will take it all and go the other direction. I like to do fully all lefts and then go all rights with these younger horses, just because it is a lot for them to take in, so it's important to kind of establish the proper thing one way. And love young horses. He probably spooked at that pole on the ground that's been there since he's been at this house. So there's that. Gotta love babies. But again, like I said, I like to keep him relaxed. Once he realizes he's not going to die, we decide to switch directions after and continue and basically start over from there. I end up loping. He did really well. I did kind of the same things, big circles in different areas. One thing I want to show you is his stop. Whoa. So this is a new thing that I've usually only stopped him on the rail, and I do have videos on YouTube of that showing how to stop them with a one rein stop with the fence, where now he's at the point when I woah my body, he knows to stop, and it is my favorite thing. So now going the other way, again, I just really want to keep him round and shaped. I kind of keep my inside pulling towards my hip. The reason I'm able to do that is because I have his body shaped, and he's actually staying round and fluid just like I am. I'm shaping my body. The one thing I'm going to show you here is me asking him to lope. It was the most effortless lope ever, because a kiss means lope. So I just went, and he knows that that means to start loping. And if you really instill these things with your horses, it makes your life so much easier. Now all my horses, when I kissing is a sound of lope, and they associate that with it. So it's just one of those little tips to make your life easier. Once I had him loping, I'm doing, again, the circles, really trying to keep him between my hands. I'll use my outside rein if I have to, lay it on his neck if he drifts out. And so now he is learning to neck rein, because I've been doing that since day one, where my outside rein goes on, my inside rein will pull if I have to correct him. And if I don't have to do anything, he should stay between my hands. So now we're taking the things we learned on the rail onto the barrel pattern. As you can see how this relates to the barrel pattern and just horseback riding in general, of keeping them straight lines, getting nice circles, and being really fluid. So he knows to be between my hands. When I shape for the turn, obviously he's really green, so it's a lot new for him, but he's staying round, he's doing what I'm asking, he's following himself, and I'm just really proud that he's actually doing the things, because it is things that we've been working on for a while. So again, straight lines. I adjust my body to start the turn here, and it's okay if he goes wide. I'm not asking for perfection. I'm just asking for him to stay between my hands follow his nose around and just kind of stay round with his body, because being round with their body is not a normal thing for horses. So it's important when you walk, trot, and lope that you kind of keep it the same. You use your inside leg a lot to really get that rib cage. And again, think of almost kicking their hip out. I guarantee you won't actually do it, but it just helps soften your hands because their body's staying round, and it's a lot easier for you to get them to follow their nose. So I did this a little bit, and I feel almost ready for the pattern, and it's only been about 30 days, but I feel in no time with this type of work he's going to be there and we'll be getting our straight lines and perfect circles. He did so well, so I'm going to stop. Whoa. Again, the same thing. He knows when I stop riding my body that he has to stop as well, and he's just picking it up really well. But again, when you instill these things as their babies and you instill them differently than when you actually want it, how it looks, quote, finished, it's going to be really easy. So give them a break, pet them, tell them they did a good job. When I finish walking them out, I'm going to show you one thing that I love to do with all my horses is once I stop them, get them to back up maybe one step, especially with a young horse like this. I always make sure I get him off my hands. Give him a nice pat, get off, again, super random, get off on whatever side you feel like at the moment, and then I will loosen his saddle. Just really make them enjoy their life and make them happy. They know they did a good job, and you get to loosen the saddle, and that's one little sense of reward for them that they've done a good job. And even if you could take your bridle off, lead with that. Didn't do it right now, but I usually take the bridle off, loosen the saddle, and finish up the ride.